I think what it all comes down to is this. There's what you need to do in order to make progress in life. And I think that what I have focused on, let me take this, I get my insulin pump in my pocket. Let me take it out. Anyway, the point is, what you have to do is focus on what you need to do to win, to make progress, to move forward. And I think that's what's important to me in life. I think everything I talk about is pointless in itself. Trying to understand the world, trying to figure out the very meaning of our existence, to me is pointless. Actually, it's funny. I actually don't really think that much about the meaning of life. Because all I do, I actually apply Einstein's statement. Imagination is more important than knowledge. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know why I exist. I don't know if my life, if there is some ultimate meaning or whatever. But what I do is I imagine that there is a meaning. I imagine that my life does have a meaning. And I imagine that whatever it is positive. And it's something good. And I imagine that the universe is good. And it's imaginary. Yeah, I even admit that. That the universe is a good thing. And that my existence is a good thing. And that my life is a good thing. And that my purpose is good. That's all imaginary. I even admit it's imaginary. I'm not even going to pretend. I'm not going to blow smoke and pretend that I know that it's good. Or that that's a fact or that it's science. It's just pure imagination. I believe it for one simple reason. I believe it because I want to believe. I want to believe. I was thinking about something years ago. On the X-Files, the TV show, Agent Mulder has this poster in his office. It's a poster, there's a UFO, and there's a thing that says, I want to believe. And I get to thinking, with everything I believe it because I want to believe. But I think that that's true for everybody. I think we all are like that. We all believe what we believe, not because it's true. I've said this before, if I should ever get famous one day, this will be known as the famous Philip Lewis quote. It'll be, we don't believe something because it's true. We believe something because it works. It serves us in some way. We believe what we want to believe. Every person in the world believes what they want to believe. You can't make a person believe something they don't want to believe. People who believe in God because they want to believe it. People who don't believe in God have their belief because they don't want to believe in God. So they are doing exactly what they want to do. And that is to deny that there is a God. And so that's okay, in my opinion. And I'm going to say that. And that's a bit controversial for somebody. I don't know where. But that's perfectly okay. I want to believe that the universe is a good place, that I have a purpose, and that my purpose is good, and that my being on YouTube is a good thing, and that it serves a positive purpose. To me, that's my idea of positive thinking in a way. I was thinking about something, though, and this is the point. By the way, about my job situation, I still have a job. They closed out my position in my job where I was before. And I remember when I went over to the office, and they were going to tell me what my fate was. Am I going to be completely out of a job, or am I just going to be moved to another place? Well, I'm going to be moved to another place. But what's important is this. I still have a job. I had a positive attitude about it when I went to that office. And when I went there, things turned out positive. In some way, it's negative for somebody else. Because as I said before, I don't know if people understand. What happens is when they close your position, because you have seniority in a particular job title, you have the right to push somebody else out of their job, which which will happen. So it's not positive for somebody else. In the overall bigger picture of things, there's a negativeness to things. But positive attitude is really neutral. I said this once before, and I'm going to kind of stick to my point. It's not good or bad in a bigger picture. It's just simply personal and subjective. It's what you use. It's a tool. A positive attitude is a tool that you use to motivate yourself. It's not, in a sense, positive in the universal sense. I don't even know how to explain that, but I'm just going to say that. What I mean by that is, if I win, somebody else has to lose. If you got two teams playing against each other in a sporting event, both teams could have a positive attitude. But the results are going to be the same as if both teams had a negative attitude. If you had two teams playing against each other, and they both thought, oh, we're going to lose, and the other team thought the same thing, oh, we're going to lose, one of them is going to be right and one of them is going to be wrong. If they both went in there and they say, oh, we're going to win, and the other team thought, we're going to win, and they play against each other, somebody's going to be right and somebody's going to be wrong. So in a real sense, positive thinking is neutral. It's not good, it's not bad. It's just subjective, and it's a personal tool that you use to help you to keep moving forward. And that's all it is. So I'm not here to, tell you about magic. That somehow if you think positive, everything is going to turn out perfect. No. See, if I thought negative, if I went up to the human resource office with a negative attitude, I still would have got, news that worked in my favor. See, good news really is news that works in your favor. It's not so much news that's good. It's good for me, bad for somebody else. I've been in this position before where good news for me really was bad news for somebody else. But we all think in that sort of, and I'm going to say it, I'm going to use the word selfish. We all think in a selfish way because we're really interested in our own interests. Maybe there's a great deal of truth to the very title of Richard Dawkins' book, The Selfish Gene. Well, there's a selfishness element to all of us. Positive thinking means I get what I want. Even if other people wind up having to suffer as a result of it. Because I think by nature, there is a selfishness to all of us. But that doesn't necessarily mean we have to be negative. That doesn't mean we have to be destructive and that's a license to go around hurting other people. One thing is, I didn't design this system. I wish that things would be different. There are negative things going on at the place where I work. People in top positions, for example, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it's been published in the paper, just to decorate their houses. There's a lot of negative things going on that I don't like. And I've seen these things. People spend lots of money on trivial things at the university. And I wish that would end. And I'm very much against that because that would save a lot of jobs if they would cut back on these luxuries. But, people have been spoiled there. The top people. I don't want to say too much, but that's just reality of things. But when I talk about positive thinking, I realize that positive thinking is subjective. It's not something objective, and it's not science. But it is a useful tool. And that's just a fact. That's all I have to say.